One thing people often get wrong about taxes is thinking civil disobedience against them only began in modern democratic movements. But what if I told you that some of history's most dramatic and forgotten acts of rebellion began not with guns, but with grain, coins, and silence? In 14th century China, under the Yuan dynasty, entire villages vanished into forests to escape oppressive tax collectors. The Ottoman Empire saw Greek coastal communities abandon productive lands en masse rather than hand over olive oil quotas. Ethiopian farmers during certain imperial reigns reportedly buried their best crops or switched to low-yield varieties simply so they would owe less. Was this sabotage or survival? An early form of economic protest centuries before Gandhi's Salt March made headlines. These acts weren't always loud or poetic. Many became institutionalized through avoidance techniques passed down generationally. In late Roman Egypt, temple scribes falsified census rolls, protecting families from increased levies while practicing sacred fraud for social justice. Are we missing rich traditions of resistance because they lacked revolutionary slogans? Colonial administrators later viewed reluctance to pay colonial taxes as ignorance, but were colonized populations seeing it as a refusal to fund their own subjugation. From West African kingdoms resisting poll taxes to Filipino peasants hiding carabao herds at Spanish inspections, evasion became lifeblood for local autonomy. However, some scholars argue that resistance sometimes damaged vulnerable sectors more than empire. It starved state services later used by locals themselves. What constitutes a legitimate grievance when an empire extracts labor under the guise of civic duty? And can refusal be a powerful language, even when it leaves behind no bannered protest or battlefield heroics? Today we venerate protest marches and online boycotts. But do we overlook quiet fiscal defiance embedded in cultures long before capitalism's spreadsheets defined value? Our modern debt strikes echoes of older traditions forgotten by those who assume taxation has always been fair play. If we reconsider unpaid tributes, forged ledgers, or scorched harvests, not just as desperate actions, but deliberate ones, what broader picture emerges about autonomy through economic dissent? And in our current world, where taxation funds controversial military spending or corporate bailouts, are these tax rebellions truly ancient history, or blueprints patiently waiting their next chapter?